Hello, my name is Desiree Jordan. My company is Des Swags. Today's lesson is going to be about making a valance. First of all, what I've done is, as usual, I am making something for a customer. What I'm making today is going to be this valance. I hope you can see it. Right, now I've made so many valance in already, but this valance is going to be with a difference. I've cut the pattern out, which I'm going to show you what I've done. Now, this is always bespoke. It is to fit the customer's their need, their window, and so on. And this valance, it's a small one. It's 10 inches drop, so it's small. And the width of their valance is 124 inches long and 6 inches around the corner. So what I'm going to do today is show you. I first cut the pattern out and I show you how I've come across how I came to make the pattern. It's a matter of calculation, and this is what you will need to do for your window. So if you decided on the size of your scallops or the shape, right, and divide it by the size, then you know how many blocks you're putting in, and you can do anything you like. So this is what I've done. And what you can do as well is, if you've already got patterns already that you've cut out, you can implicate them and use them to create something new and use them like a block. So that's what I've done here today. So first of all, I'm going to show you, it's going to be a very short clip, and then I will show you the making up of it. Here I'm just using a bit of scrap of paper at the moment. So now I'm going to start. The measurement, as I told you, was 12 inches across. So what I've done, I've folded up my fabric, as you can see, and I'd always like to be clear. So I've measured around, say, 6 to 7 inches, because I always like to have enough, always allow for mistake. So 12 inches, so plus I need 13 inches. So 7 inches, 14, 7 and 7 is 14. So 6.5. So I've got the width of my valance, or my block, which is my scallop, which is one side. And this is what I'm going to use the pattern for all of my valances, the center part, which is the main fabric. I've just got hold of something that has got a circular part to it. So anything that you can find that's got a circular will help you, or a compass if you want to, and just get a rough idea of the shape that you want. I'm here doing kind of a semicircle. You could do any shape you like, even a pointed shape is down to you. So I've used that, and now I'm going to use my ruler to because if I left that as it was, it would be like two dips. So I'm going to give it one dip downwards. And that will do. This pattern that you see that I've got in my hand now, it's my pattern for my trumpet. I use this pattern quite a lot. So what I'm doing now is I'm checking the dip, because even though the drop of my valance is 10 inches, when it goes up, the curve that goes up, I want this one to be 8 inches, and hopefully it doesn't show the wall. But if it does, it's just a style, because I don't have much to play with on this. So I've checked it before I actually cut it out. So that's my first block ready. Now here I've realized that my pattern, can you see that dip to the right? It's too high. So what I'm going to do now is just bring it down so that my dip is around 8 inches. So I've got to adjust it. It's amazing what you can do with this trumpet pattern, because here we've got one shape, but at the end of it, I'm going to change it into something. You can see what I'm doing there. I'm pleating it because I want to do another style. I don't want it to be just like a trumpet. So I've pleated it, but I thought, no. The picture that I was shown that the customer wanted, I thought, okay. But when you have a pleat like that, you've got pleats going all left, all right, or you then have to say, do the pleats one left, one right, so that every other pleat you've got one left, one right. So there's a lot to think about before doing what it is you're going to do. Can you see now I brought it down? So it's now down to 8 inches. So that's what I'm going to have to do, bring it down. Now, because this is my trumpet pattern that I use for everything, I don't want to cut that one and adjust it. So I now have to recut that out and play with my new pattern that I'm going to be doing. So as you can see now, I've cut my new pattern out and I'm just lining everything up to see if everything will fit. But I'm not 100% happy with this one as yet, but I'm just testing everything out. Now I like this to go up as a dip, but this is too much. The whole thing's got to measure from 10 inches here and from 8 inches here. So this is, as much as I love this to show, as a contrast, it's too high. So what I'll do, don't forget I'm making a pattern, is I'm going to bring this down and recut it again, because that is far. That would be probably six inches, and that's too high, and I need it to be 8 inches. So I'm going to recut it, but I'm going to bring this down first, and I need some fabric here to go over because that's the style of it. If you wish, you could make that pointy if you wish, because it's your pattern. And as I say, you do as you want. So here we have now, it's going up there and there's the curve. So that will do nicely. And as you can see, when I folded it, I used that as my center marking. So this is here at my center marking. So this is going to be the mirror image to this. So what I'll do here is I'll cut this, put it in the way. Cut this like that, or I could even take it up higher. No, I don't. I'll leave that so that it can show. So that's how it will join. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have. Let's straighten this up. So that is going to be my pattern. So this is going to be my valance, which is this, as I said. Now, if it was all in one, then it would have been easier for me, the same fabric, just to cut the whole thing in one straight line. Brilliant. But no, my customer decided that they wanted two different fabrics, so it gave me more work to do. So I'm going to do a little mock-up of this and see how it goes, and then I'm going to cut the original when the main fabric comes along. And here is the curtains that I've made already. They're the curtains, which is a small curtain, so we're going to do a small valance for it. And as you can see, this is going to be the pattern center. Now, this valance measures 124 inches long. So what I've done here, so this valance is 124 inches long. So what I've done is 124, and I said divided by each one of these. I made up my mind that we're going to, me and the customer, so that this section here, they want it to be at least 12 inches wide. From there to there, right? 12 inches wide, 10 inches drop, and this section here, 8 inches drop. So we established that at the beginning. So 124 inches divided by 12 equals 10. So I need to cut 10.13, 10 of these, and 33 point left over, whereby around the corner, the side, it will go off there. So I'll get fabric to go around the corner to give me back my 10.33. Yeah. Okay, so 10 of these I'm going to cut. This is 12 inches going across, plus my seam allowance, which is 1 inch for half inch for each side, which makes it at 13 inches, and that's what I've got, 13, just a little bit over 13. So that's that done. And this here is you can make this as fat as you like, because you're folding it over, and when you fold it over, it's more or less not taking up anything, because it's fitted back into that. Paper is difficult to maneuver, so there it is. But so this section here on the pattern, it's not going to stay like that, because on the diagram, we're going to therefore give it another pleat to make it a bit more interesting. So maybe I should make this a bit more wider to give it a style. Yeah, I think I'll make it wider. We're just going to do either a box pleat here. Yeah, we're going to do an extra box. So I'm going to make this wider to put a box right in the middle here, just to give it a bit more character. So let me get some more paper and redo that. So I'm going to add a difference of 2 inches in here to make this section here wider. Right, so just so that you can see what I'm talking about. Let's cut that open. And let's add 2 inches in there. Let's add 3 inches. Believe you me, that's what pattern making is all about. Trial and error. I'm getting hot. I have to take this jumper off. Right, so what I've done here, I've expanded this because I wanted it to be a bit more, I'm getting hot. I wanted it to be a bit more bigger. So this is fold over, and there is my pleat there. I've got a box pleat in here, just to make it different. It would have been nice actually to have actually put, so like I've got plain fabric here, I've got the flower fabric here, and it would be nice to put the plain fabric in here as well, but that is really a lot of work. I want to think about that, and I've got to think about that as well, because if I do that and I keep on adding on fabric, then the seam allowance become bulkier and bulkier, so I've got to be careful what I do. But actually I actually like that idea, so I might, let's colour that in, let's see what it looks like. So if you can say, you can imagine, because the fabric's going to be grey that's in here. Right, that's the fabric, that's a grey one, and this is my plain fabric, and that's the contrast. I think that would look nice actually. Now I know the customer trusts me completely, so really it's like I've got a license to do as I like. I quite like that actually. Yeah, I think I might do that if I have enough fabric. If I don't, yeah, I like that. Alright, so now I've got my pattern, and my pattern still measures, I've got to make sure it still measures from this point to that point 12 inches, otherwise it's going to be too long. And at the corner, I'll either get this right on the corner of the pelmet board, or you're not to worry if it doesn't work out right and it's a little bit over, then you move it, and then the last pattern here goes around the corner and you cut it off and it fits fine. You can always adjust it when you put it up, but that's what I'm going to go with. So I think that's it. Yeah, I do like that inside. Right, so now I'll cut the pattern, the material, when it comes. Not forgetting that I will allow seam allowance at the top and the bottom of this pattern.